The power rack, probably one of the most complex stations you see in the gym. You're in the gym and you see the station, you're probably wondering, what is this thing? I'm going to break down and show you how you can be on your way to scale your fitness. I'm going to use the squats as a prime example. One of the most obvious reasons why I decided to film this video is because once I had a client who did not know how to set up this station. He was so confused, basically clueless. And sometimes in between my sets, when I'm looking around, you see people who just don't know how to set up this station correctly. If this is you, no need to worry, let's dive in. So you must break it down if you want to succeed and attack the cause. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to attack the safety spotter arms. These things are located at each side of the power rack. There is 2 of them. This is one of the parts on the power rack that most people get confused about. People just don't know how to take it out and, place it where or here or there. So all you need to do is play around with it. All you have to do is pull it upwards and out. So up and out, and it comes out of place depending on what you're doing. But here's an example of squats. So we're going to place it slightly low, so if we fail we can just throw it back and it lands on the spotter arms. If you notice and look on the side, there is numbering. Quick tip: memorize the numbers you use on specific exercises. If you're doing squats, remember where you put the safety spotter arms. If you're doing overhead press, remember where you put the safety spotter arms. Remember the numbering. It makes it easier the next time you're about to execute. Remember, habit, nature of adaptation. So just 2 moves, up and out. Once you played around with it and mastered it, we're going to move on to the next part. But first, grab onto the barbell and place it onto the safety spotter arms. This just gets it out of the way for now. The next focus is to attack the adjustable hooks, or the J hooks. You would usually find them anywhere on the power rack. Why? Because it depends on how the last person had left the station. So in this case, they're slightly above. Again, most people, if not you, just don't understand how to take this thing out of place and maneuver it through the power rack. Very, very simple. All you need to do is press that yellow knob or yellow lever, push it away from the power rack. It automatically locks out of place. Place the other hand on the other side and slowly lift up. Remember, once the yellow lever is pushed out, it's locked out of place. Once you let go, it automatically locks back into place. I always say play around with it so you get a better feel and understanding how to use this safety hook. Never forget what you do on one side, always do on the other side, and use that same tip from before. Memorize the numbering, so when you execute it the next time, you remember what number you did before, and you just make the process much more quicker and smoother. Let's be honest, who really wants to be setting a station for such long periods of time? Not me, not you. So make the process smooth and quick. So once you finally mastered how to use the adjustable hooks, or should I say the J hooks, slowly place the barbell back onto the rack. Now it's time to have some fun. It's time to squat. So you're probably wondering, how do I set the correct height for the adjustable safety hooks? Understand that everybody's going to be slightly different, but you don't want them too high and you don't want it too low. The reason why you don't want it too high, because you won't be able to get a lift off when you are about to squat. Remember, you need to bend your knees and drive up as you're bringing the bar up and away from the rack. And if it's too high, you won't be able to execute the maneuver properly. Just imagine adding on weights, how difficult this would be and how dangerous this could also be. Let me give you an example so you can see for yourselves what I mean by having it just too high. Instantly, you can see I'm struggling to get that lift off because I need to bend my legs and drive up. If it's too high, I won't be able to get that lift off. Imagine having weights on there. It would be uncomfortable, and think about it, it could get very dangerous because you're struggling to drive up. So make sure it's not too high, also make sure it's not too low as well. Why? It's the same thing, you're just putting too much work to push the weight up. Have it at the right height, makes things a lot easier, and you can focus on executing the exercise and getting the correct amount of reps. I always tell all my clients or anybody that asks me for tips, don't rush the process. It's better to be safe than sorry. Set it up correctly and you'll truly thank yourself for it in the long run. So once you are happy, go ahead and do your designated amount of reps for the designated amount of sets you need for that workout. If you are confused, start with 8 to 12 reps for 3 sets and then move on. And finally, this video was specifically focusing on how to set the power rack when you are about to squat. Remember, this machine is a multi-purpose machine. It can work basically any body parts depending on what you are trying to work for. But here we are focusing on the squats and setting it correctly when using the power rack. And so you see, that wasn't that hard, was it? That is how you successfully use the power rack. Let's freaking go.